Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Please explain how should we follow the order in the Quran for female to lower the gaze when we need to talk to the non-mahram out of necessity. Is it that we don't make an eye contact at all from the beginning to the end of the conversation? What are the other things we should lower the gaze? As we know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when He ordered the believing men and the believing women, both of them, and the order is for both of them. قل للمؤمنين يغضوا من أبصارهم and قل للمؤمنات يغضضن من أبصارهن. That also for the believing women to lower their gaze. And lowering the gaze in principle, lowering the gaze in principle again, is lowering the gaze from what a person desires that is not permissible for them to see. Right? So, men, they desire women, women, they desire men. So this is something that they should lower their gaze from. When some of the ulama, when they said for the woman, for example, if she looks at the face of a man and she is not having the desire, there's no fitna and things like this, or some said that it's permissible, right? But this is a very gray area, and a person should not praise himself saying that I'm not like this or so. A person should always lower their gaze, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, and you cannot make this as a general term, because people are different in these types of things. So if it's a non-mahram, and it's more than just lowering the gaze, it's the shyness, that it's one of the basic characteristics of all Muslims. This is the general characteristics of this deen, of the Muslims, as the Prophet ﷺ, inna likulli deen khuluqa. For every religion, there is a manner that basically is the main thing of that deen, that religion. And the khuluq al-Islam al-haya, the main khuluq of al-Islam, the main manner of al-Islam is al-haya, shyness, modesty. So to be modest and to have the haya, this is one of its signs, is that the woman would also lower her gaze, do not look at the face, do not give eye contact, opposite to what people think. You give eye contact with women to women, men to men, but when it comes to men to women and so on, there's no need for them to look at each other, unless it's a necessity, a judge or a criminal situations or whatever it is. But in general, like this, is to lower the gaze and to have that shyness and to be away from the ease of these types of things. So, and this is again for both men and women. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala commanded them to be upon this. And it's like when the man is supposed to lower the gaze from the face of the woman, this is no doubt about this, right? So if you imagine two people are speaking to each other, the woman is looking at the face of the man, and the man is not looking at her face. It doesn't make sense, right? And that's why even وَإِذَا سَأَلْتُمُهُنَّ مَتَاعًا فَاسْأَلُوهُنَّ مِنْ وَرَاءِ حِجَابٍ. If you ask them for a need, or there's something that you talk to them about, فَاسْأَلُوهُنَّ, ask them from behind a curtain, from behind a veil. This is what's purer for your hearts and their hearts. Now, please note that this is conversation with a non-mahram male outside the house, where it's not possible to talk behind the curtain. Yes, to lower the gaze and to look down, right? Not to look at each other when people are speaking, and not to have eye contact. All of these things are to be avoided, unless there is a necessity, which is, this is an exception. But the norm is to lower the gaze and not to look at one another.